In this installment, we're going to be going over the MLB bet slate for Tuesday, July 2nd. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef Dan. I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our July 2nd MLB slate we got going on for Tuesday. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel. Currently at 6.67 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we are well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. Thanks to you guys showing up and showing out. The likes and comments, that helps so much for the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a broader audience here. So guys, if you are not subscribed right now, I highly encourage you join the community that we're building on YouTube and on Patreon right this second. All right, now for the Patreon as well, if you want to have access to the future bets for the daily plays as well, and access to that chat, all right, because they're going off each and every day with plays, you sign up for that link provided down below. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First up on the slate here, we're in Cleveland at Progressive Field. The Guardians 52-30 going up against the Chicago White Sox 24-62 here. No current line right now, but I would imagine with the discrepancy here in records, you're probably going to be looking at the Cleveland Guardians as a minus 300, probably in that 275 to 300 range, because this is the worst team in the league here in the Chicago White Sox. That over-under is going to be probably set at, and probably high, 9.5. Around that 9 to 10 range, in between there. That's what I would imagine. We got Chris Flexen on the mound. He has a 2-7 record with a 5.13 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, going up against Carlos Carrasco, 3-6 with a 5.27 ERA and a 1.40 WHIP. So two bad pitchers here on the mound as the pitcher matchup here. Chris Flexen has been bad all year. His ERA on the road is a 4.99, and his main issue is against lefties, all right? So against lefties, he's given up a home run per 9 at 2.83, the batting average at 288, the whip at 1.53, and the xFIP at 5.10. So across the board, bad here. This is a great spot for the red-hot Cleveland Guardians here. And for Carlos Carrasco, positive note here, he's had back-to-back games with very solid numbers here. Usually, for the majority of the season, he's been a gas can getting lit up for 5, 7 type of outings, though just getting really beaten up in that earned run department. So looking at glass half full, yes, he's been fine the last 2 starts, but you are scared and afraid that bad Carlos Carrasco game could be coming back very soon. When you're looking at the batter, the BVP against the White Sox, it's not good as well. They're hitting over a 300 average as well. He's given up a high numbers to lefties and righties versus lefties. The home run per 9 is at 1.03. The average is at 281. The whip is at 1.60. The BABIP is at 0.330. The xFIP is at 4.14. Against righties, his home run per 9 is a little bit worse here, 1.80. The batting average is at 273. The whip is lower at 1.20, and the xFIP is at 4.48. So I would be leaning towards the over in this total here. Whatever it's at either at 9 or 9.5, it's probably going to be around that range. So give me the over in the total, and I would go with the Cleveland Guardians here. despite the fact that Carlos Carrasco's bad, and Chris Flexen here, I think is just too much offense here for the Guardians in this spot. Next up in Nationals Park here, we have the Washington Nationals 39-44 going up against the New York Mets 40-41. For the odds in this one here, we have road favorites New York Mets minus 130 on the money line with the comeback of the Washington Nationals at a plus 110. Total set at a 9.5. So that's a pretty high total between these two. That's mainly because one side here on the Nationals. So the probable pitching matchup, Sean Manaea, who's been pretty solid this year, 5-3 with a 3.89 ERA, a 1.30 WHIP, going up against DJ Hurst, who's 1-2 with a 5.48 ERA and a 1.50 WHIP. This is a lefty-lefty battle, and we already know the New York Mets are very, very strong against left-handed pitchers, all right? So Sean Manaea, he has some slight home road splits. On the road, his ERA is a 3.16, and he pitches better on the road as well. So this is a positive note here for Sean Manaea outside of New York. He's very good against righties. His number against righties, home run per 9 at 0.59, the batting average at 218, the whip at 1.24, and the BABIP at a 274. So very low numbers there. DJ Hurst on the other side. This is a spot where the Mets can get hot. And this is, like I said, is a perfect matchup for them. He struggles against lefties. And he's been getting lit up as of late to a lefty. So lefty versus lefty matchups here. There's going to be a few occasions where that comes to fruition here in this game. And against lefties, he's given up a 2.09 home run per 9. The batting average at 264, the whip at 1.42, and the xFIP at 4. Also, to go with that, his last 5 games, he's given up 13 earned runs. So across the board, there's a lot of issues here with this young pitcher in DJ Hurst. Struggles against lefties, and the amount of earned runs he's given up in the last 5 games. He's been pretty much a gas can, despite the fact he had that one good game with like 13 strikeouts against the Miami Marlins. So give me the Mets here on the money line. Give me the over. No, I'll stick with the under. I think the Mets score. I don't expect the Washington Nationals to put up enough points to get this to an over. So Mets money line under 9.5, and I would consider that minus 1.5 as well for the New York Mets. Next up in Yankee Stadium here, Yankees 54-32 going up against the Cincinnati Reds 39-45. No line on this one here. With these two teams matched up here, I would give a line around that minus 180 to 190 range. Cincinnati is a decent team here. Pitching matchup is a little bit of a discrepancy. So, you know what? Minus 200 for the Yankees to come back on the Cincinnati Reds at a plus 165. In a total around the 8.5 for this spot here. And that's mainly because the pitching matchup, Graham, Ashcraft going up against Lewis Gill. Ashcraft is 4-4 with a 5.45 ERA and a 1.49 WHIP. Lewis Gill has been phenomenal this year. Great strikeout stuff. He's 9-3 with a 3.15 ERA and a 1.12 WHIP. All right. Graham Ashcraft is another guy with home road splits. He's bad at home and good on the road. So, looking at this ERA right now, it's a little bit, take it with a grain of salt there because he does pitch in Great American Small Park in Cincinnati. His ERA on the road is 3.70. He does have an issue versus lefties. His road numbers against lefties are a 2.18 home run per 9, a 318 batting average, a 1.60 whip, and an xFIP at 4.11. So these lefty bats here in that Yankee Stadium or the Yankee lineup here are in a very positive spot going up against Ashcraft. All right. On the other side, Lewis Gill, he does need to bounce back. He struggled in his past 2 games, 5 innings pitched, 12 earned runs. But overall, when you're looking at his numbers, he has very good numbers against lefties and righties. You do have to worry about his walk issue. As you can see, he has 45 walks this year, and that was kind of the issue in the past 2 games. The reason why it helped towards the 12 earned runs in the 5 innings. All right, but his strikeout numbers: 24% K rate against lefties, 31% K rate against righties. I'm going to be rocking with Lewis Gill in here and the Yankees. Give me them on the money line, and I would consider the under whatever the total would be, probably around that 8.5 range, under 8.5 in this spot between the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees. Next game up in Rogers Center here, Toronto Blue Jays 38-46 going against the Houston Astros 43-41. The current line right now is pretty almost even here. Toronto Blue Jays slight favorites, -115 with the comeback of the Houston Astros at a -105. Total set at 8.5. All right. For the pitching matchup, we have Spencer Arrighetti, who's 4-6 with a 5.68 ERA and a WHIP at 1.60, going up against Jose Berrios, 7-6 with a 3.38 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP. All right. So Spencer Arrighetti is, you would say, a revelation. So at the beginning of the year, he's been a total gas can. But as of late, if you're just looking at his progression, he's been getting better and better. But he always has this issue with these blow-up games. One game, he'll pitch phenomenal. Or a couple games, he'll pitch phenomenal. And then that third or fourth start, he's giving up 5 runs in less than 5 innings. And he's getting tossed only 1K. It's a very roller coaster ride here with the young Spencer Arrighetti here. So you don't know what you fully get every time you're going out with him. He does have issues against lefties. The only good spot about that is that Toronto only has 3 lefties. But Spencer Arrighetti is not someone to trust, okay, at all. On the other side, Jose Berrios. He's been very good at home. He's elite at home with a 2.39 ERA. He does have an issue against righties, but that's mainly with hits and not much with the power department. So I like the Toronto Blue Jays to bounce back from their loss in game number 1 on July 1st. So give me the Toronto Blue Jays on the money line here with them as being slight favorites. And in this one, I'll go with the under yet again here. No, I don't trust Spencer. It could be that bad Spencer Arrighetti game. Give me the over 8.5. In this total here. Next game, we are in Detroit, Target Field. Oh, no, we're not in Detroit. I want to flip that. We're in Minnesota here, Target Field. Twins, 47-37. Going against the Detroit Tigers, 38-46. Current odds right now, we only have information on the money line. We have road favorite here, -120 Detroit Tigers. Minnesota Twins coming back as even. No total as of yet, but it's probably going to be around that 7 range because we have a strong pitching matchup here. Tariq Skubal, who's a Cy Young candidate right now, going up against Simeon Woods Richardson, who's just been a very steady, solid pitcher for the Twins every time he comes out. Skubal, 9-3 with a 2.32 ERA, 0.94 WHIP. Woods Richardson is 3-1 with a 3.41 ERA and a 1.14 WHIP. So this game right now is making me lean towards that under. We already understand the struggles of this Tigers offense. So that's going to be a concern with the total. That's why I like the under. On the other hand, you have Tariq Skubal. He can limit the damage, obviously, or shut down the Minnesota Twins. He's been phenomenal this season, all right? Like I said, Woods Richardson has been very good this year. This is going to be down to a coin flip here. Give me the Twins as underdogs here. Give me the Twins at that even money. I'll take them to win this game. Skubal, I love him at home. On the road is a little bit of a question. That's where his numbers skew just a little bit, or the team loses as well. If you look at his past 2 road games, he's given up 8 runs. So it's a little bit of a different story here with Skubal on the road. I have full confidence in him at home, but I like the Twins in this spot as in a home underdog. In Kauffman Stadium here, we have the Kansas City Royals 47-39 going up against the Tampa Bay Rays 42-42. The pitching matchup, the game odds right now, we have Royals as home favorites -125 with the comeback of the Rays at a +105. Total set at 8.5. For the pitching matchup, Zach Littell 2-5 with a 4.17 ERA, a 1.36 WHIP. Going up against Brady Singer here, 4-4 with a 3.12 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP. All right. So every time I see Littell, these numbers always they just jump out. That's why he has 5 losses this year. All right. So he has some home road splits, all right, for Zach Littell. He's worse on the road. He has a 5.13 ERA. He struggles against both lefties and righties, but mainly righties. So his numbers against righties, a 1.53 home run per 9, a 333 batting average, a 1.81 WHIP, which is garbage, and an xFIP at 4.83. So this is a great spot for the Kansas City Royals right now, who did not too far long ago. They were having a little bit of a rough patch in the losing streak. So I think this is a good spot for them against Zach Littell. You're looking at Brady Singer. Nothing glaring. He's been very solid this year. Very good against righties. He does have an issue against lefties. He does give up power to lefties as well, but that's mainly on the road. So his lefty issues are on the road. When it comes to him pitching against lefties at home, he's been phenomenal. So give me the Royals as favorites here. I like them on the money line. If I'm considering the over-under, give me the under 8.5 in Kauffman Stadium. In T-Mobile Park here, Seattle Mariners 47-39 going against the Baltimore Orioles 53-31. We have no odds as of right now between this matchup. This one might be a little more tightly contested here with the Orioles as slight road favorites. I would give them around that minus 140 range with the comeback of the Seattle Mariners at a plus 120. We have a matchup here between Grayson Rodriguez going up against George Kirby, who's been really good. All right, Rodriguez 9-3 with a 3.72 ERA. And a 1.24 whip. George Kirby 7-5 with a 3.35 ERA and a 0.97 whip. The total is probably going to be around the 8 to 7.5 range. Okay, 8 to 7.5 between these two pitchers. Already, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be leaning to. I'm going to lean towards. It's the Mariners in that offense, but this is a good spot. So we're going to lean towards the over. On the total with the 7.5 or 8, okay? The reason why I'm saying that, Grayson Rodriguez has home road splits. He is phenomenal at home, a 2.22 ERA, but on the road, he has ERA as a 5.35, and righties absolutely destroy him on the road, okay? Home run per 9 at a 1.96, the batting average at a 373, the whip at a 1.80, xFIP at a 4.31. So it's very concerning here when you get Rodriguez on the road. George Kirby has been absolutely phenomenal. He's very good at home with a 2.34 ERA, but he does give up some power to lefties, all right? And you're dealing with the Baltimore Orioles offense. It's a different animal. So this has some potential to go towards an over, despite the fact we have a very good pitching matchup if you look at the numbers just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to be going with the Mariners. Give me the Mariners at a plus 1.5. I imagine to be home underdogs. I want to be safe. Give me plus 1.5 and give me the over on the total if it's at 7.5 or 8. All right, let's move on to the next game. Last but not least, we're going to be in Dodgers Stadium here. LA Dodgers 52-33 going against the Arizona Diamondbacks 41-43. No odds on this one as well. It's still early. I would imagine with this particular matchup, we have the Dodgers 19 games over 500. Diamondbacks under 500. It's going to be around the minus 200 range, all right, with the comeback of the Diamondbacks at that plus 170, okay? Plus, you got the Dodgers at home. I do expect them to be favored in this one here. Pitching matchup, Reen Nelson here going up against Bobby Miller. Reen Nelson 5-6 with a 5.69 ERA, a 1.57 whip. Bobby Miller 1-1 with a 6.75 ERA and a 1.65 whip. This one is very interesting, all right? Reen Nelson is, looking at his ERA, you think he'd be a gas can, and it's a great spot for the Dodgers. I imagine everyone's smashing the minus 1.5 on the Dodgers in this one, but you got to hold things back just a little bit here. He does have some major home road splits, all right? Because he's pitching in Arizona, that's more of a offensive environment there. His numbers on the road are starkly different with the ERA in that 3 range, okay? He does pitch very well. His issue is against righties. So looking at his numbers on the road against righties, it's a home run per 9 at a 1.46. The batting average at a 352. The whip is at a 211. The BABIP is at 370, and the xFIP is at a 5.83. So this one is a little bit tough here. I think it's just too much. But when you're looking at Bobby Miller, he still hasn't gotten to his potential yet. They were coming into this season leaning on Bobby Miller as an innings eater, and he's been injured this season, and he's been very, 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 very erratic so far this year. But most of his starts have been on the road. The time he did pitch well was at home. So I'm going to not judge Bobby Miller on the limited starts he's already had this year because he only has 20 innings pitched. This is a spot where he can take advantage of the Diamondbacks outside of Arizona, where they definitely are much better. Give me the Dodgers on the money line here. I'm going to be rocking with the public in this spot here because they set it up with the Orioles and the Dodgers as the last two games. I'm going to trust the Dodgers in this one. I'm going to trust Bobby Miller at home. I'm gonna expect the Dodgers to take advantage of Ryan Nelson. When I look deeper into the numbers against righties, it was concerning. Like I said, 1.46 home run per nine, the average well over 300, the whip at 2.11. Dodgers money line, Dodgers minus 1.5, and give me the over on the total. Probably going to be set at around the 8.5 to 9 range. All right, so those are going to be our selections for the Tuesday slate in baseball. Let me know in that comment section down below. What are your thoughts? What are your props that you're going to be going towards on that Tuesday slate? Let me know in that comment section down below. If you want to sign up for the Patreon, get connected with the community and group that we have in that chat. That link is provided down below for you. And I'll be back with another video very soon. All right. Peace out.